Most of you must be knowing it, Jai Radha Madhava. Yeah? In case you don't know it, just clap your hands alongside with it. And then after the kirtan, I will share with you why we chant bhajans and kirtan, and then why you can also clap hands. Clapping hands seems very ordinary, correct? But there is a deep significance behind even clapping hands. Hare Krishna. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Prajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Prajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Prajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Yunatira Vanachari. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you everyone for joining in. That felt so nice. The reason we chant bhajans and we do kirtan, it's for auspiciousness. So you see, when you go to a doctor, for example, and before he gives you an injection or before he draws blood, he takes an alcohol swab, and that area, he cleans it, right? Because there could be germs or anything over there. Similarly, when we chant, do bhajan, we do kirtan, yeah? That is purifying our consciousness. All of us have consciousness. Living people, the symptom is consciousness. But the consciousness could be mixed. It could be at various degrees. So when we are chanting bhajans and kirtan, it is like taking an alcohol swab, what they do for purifying the external body. This is purifying our consciousness. The other is when you clap, correct? When you clap. Of course, in this country you don't see many birds, but especially I see most of you are from the Indian subcontinent. There are so many birds, right? And if birds have congregated together in one place, and you go and clap, what happens? they all fly away. Similarly, our anarthas, the undesirables, what we have, all of us, we have some good habits, we have some bad habits, we have some things which are undesirable. They are akin to birds. So when we are clapping hands in kirtan, not just clapping hands like Shubham Gill hit 4 and yay. When we clap hands in kirtan, it all anarthas go away. Hare Krishna. So actually, whatever is there in the Vedic culture, everything has deep, deep, deep significance. And as Romapad Maharaj says, when we understand the meaning of what we are doing, when we understand what we are doing, it becomes more meaningful. Even a simple thing like ringing the bell. Why you ring the bell? So there is a deep science, there's a deep philosophy behind this. It's not just ritualistic. And when we understand it, it becomes meaningful. And when something is meaningful, you do it with all your attention, you do it with full concentration and focus. Otherwise it becomes just like mechanical, oh Bhagwan ke paas aaya, namaskar kiya, and we go away. Hare Krishna. So today, Prabhu kindly invited me to speak on chapter 17. I have prepared this based on Srila Prabhupada's teachings. Many of his disciples and many of the Vaishnavas from whom I have learned, when we sit in sanghas like this, there is some takeaway we understand, and over these years, what I have understood, and then through putting things into practice. So that's what we will keep this interactive. I'm very happy to see youngsters over here. So that child is sitting so quietly and nicely. He's a sadhu. Even this little child here. So we'll keep it interactive. If you have a question, you have a comment, please raise your hand. So we will do the Mangala Charan prayer. If you know it, chant alongside with me, not after me. Right? Om Agnyanthimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Namo Bhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parichana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Sha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishnavanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedant Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Bhutale Shrimati Radha Swami Niti Namine Hare Krishna. So, chapter 17, you have been going through chapter 1 through, we are today on chapter 17. This is a quick overview of Bhagavad Gita. What we'll do today is understand Bhagavad Gita. You already are familiar now. It's several weeks. We are on 17th. It's the second last chapter. So what is the structure, contents, who said what, why? Correct? We'll go through it. It will be at a very high level. We won't get into details unless specifically someone has a question and would like to know more. We have to finish maybe in about 40-45 minutes, and 5-10 minutes we can keep for interactive discussions thereafter. So what chapter 17 is talking about is the nature of faith, correct? So we will understand core concepts like what is faith, what is austerity, what is charity. We have heard these terms, we are familiar with these terms, but in context to Bhagavad Gita, in context to spirituality, what it means, so that all our understanding, we are all on the same page. So that's what we will revisit that. And then what is the significance of chapter 17? Every chapter, every verse, every word in Bhagavad Gita has deep significance. You could spend a lifetime just understanding one word which is said over there, right? So what is the significance and what lessons can be learned from it? Now here I see as young students, I see Matajis, there may be some homemakers, there are professionals, I see senior people, retired. There's a bunch of group, it's a mixed group over here. So what Bhagavad Gita tells each and every person, that instruction, what can we get from that? And then finally, what are the practical tips? So whatever we learn, how we would be able to put it into practice. Like it is said, information is meant to bring about transformation. Knowledge is one thing, but realization is something else. Knowledge can be forgotten. Realization can never be forgotten. A simple example is when we were little children, we learned how to ride a bicycle. Correct? Now you can tell someone this is how you ride a bicycle. Sit on it and you pedal and move your handle. But until and unless you do not sit on the bicycle seat and actually do it, you do not know what riding is all about. And even after 20, 30, 40, 50 years, you have not ridden a bicycle. You sit on the seat, it will just come naturally to you. So similarly, whatever we are understanding about the Shastras, whatever we listen, it is more important. Listening is only the beginning. It is more important to put it into practice. And that's what we will talk about, the practical tips, the to-dos, as they say. Like, in business meetings and corporate world, you have a meeting and then there's a to-do, what you have to do. So something like that. And then we'll have QA. That's okay with everyone? Shall we go with this agenda? Hare Krishna. So the overview of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is a compound word. It stands for Bhagavad and Gita, correct? Bhagavad means divinity and Geet is song, correct? Bhagavad Gita. Now if you see a song, what does a song do? Everyone understands Hindi?
Yes.
Yeah? I will be interspersing the discourse with Hindi. So Dil beh jate hai, man beh jate hai. When you listen to some nice melody, it puts us in a good mood. Correct? That's what a song does. So divinity, what we see, is one of the attributes of God. Divine, you say. Divinity is the attribute of God. Krishna is Sat Chit Anand. And because it is an attribute of God, it is eternal. Divinity is eternal. It is not that, now it was divinity, then after some time it's no longer divine. Anything which is divine will be Sat Chit Anand. It is eternal. Just as food nourishes the body, we eat food to maintain this physical body. Similarly, music nourishes the heart and the mind. However, Bhagavad Gita, the song of divinity, nourishes the soul. That's what Bhagavad Gita is. We can understand how it is arranged. 18 chapters, 700 shlokas. So you can see on the screen behind. It has 3 main sections: karma, bhakti and jnana. Karma is action-reaction. Bhakti is loving devotional service. And the jnana is the knowledge. These are the 3 main sections of Bhagavad Gita, and there are 5 themes. 5 themes are Ishwar, that is all about God. Who is God? Why is God God? How is God God? It talks about that, about God. Everyone says God is great. You must have heard that, right? In different faiths also they have God is great. In the Islam faith they have a chant which they say Allahu Akbar. Allah is God. And Akbar is great, God is great. So Prabhupada says, how is God great? That is important to understand. To say God is great is one thing, but understanding how God is great. So that's what Bhagavad Gita provides. Insights into who is God, how God is God. Yeah. The other is in terms of Jiva, who we are, the spirit soul. then Prakriti, all this creation around us, and then Kala, time, and finally Karma. These are the 5 main themes of Bhagavad Gita. The first 4 are eternal, whereas the 5th one is not eternal. Karma is not eternal. 4 are eternal, karma is not eternal. So what it means to all of us, that whatever karma we have, karma is like binding us. Karma is binding us into a situation where we are not meant to be. So karma can be erased and negated completely. Hare Krishna. So here you have the distribution of who spoke what. Krishna had almost 82%, Arjuna 12%, and then Sanjaya, the narrator. You know this, if you've been, Sanjaya is telling the Bhagavad Gita. He's like a commentator. He's watching what's going on. And then he's telling Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra has only one. He's a spectator. So we can look at Bhagavad Gita as a spectator sport, so to say. They are playing over there, we'll watch it. But to actually get involved, if you actually want to get involved, we have to take the position of Arjuna as a student. Hare Krishna. So what this tells us, if you see this distribution, listen more, talk less. If you want to know something, God has given us 2 ears and how many tongues? 1 tongue. So the nature has designed a body as such. Listen more, talk less. Also very important, listen to understand. Most of us listen to reply. Someone is telling something and my brain is processing, and then I want to give a reply, whatever be that case. But listen to understand. What is that person saying? Where is he coming from? What is written between the lines? If we pay a little attention, listen to understand, things become that much clearer. And as I said earlier, information is meant for transformation. Hare Krishna. Now what is the essence of Bhagavad Gita? Can you read loudly in red? Loudly.
Essence of Bhagavad Gita. The Gita is the essence of all Vedic knowledge, meant for delivering conditioned souls. Srila Prabhupada. Thank you,
Prabhu. So, conditioned souls. What does it mean, conditioned soul? What does it mean, conditioned? Air conditioned? What conditioned? When we say, and you must have heard, especially in ISKCON, oh, conditioned, oh, material, so many things are there. Obeisances, all these words. Supreme personality of Godhead. That's another, So Godhead, what is Godhead? What is Godhead, Prabhuji?
It's the abode of God.
Huh?
The abode of God.
The abode of God, okay. Yeah, Prabhu? Boundaries, yeah. We hear these words, right? Godhead. So Prabhupada has explained what is Godhead. Yeah. Godhead is the absolute personality. Godhead is the absolute truth. There's truth and there's relative truth. Like right now over here it is 70 degrees or whatever is the temperature. So that Mataji is feeling a little chilly, she has a shawl wrapped around. Correct? And then there is that kid sitting in t-shirt. Right? It's relative. Temperature is 70, but how you are experiencing that could be hot or could be cold or whatever it is. That is relative. The truth is 70, but how we experience is relative. But the absolute truth, there's no relativity. It is as it is. So when we look at the absolute truth is a person. Krishna, God. So the absolute truth is the Godhead is the absolute truth. And it could be realized. We won't go in that, it will get into too much details. So Bhagavad Gita shows why Krishna is God, how we are his eternal servants. So servants in a material sense is like a low menial position. All of us want to be masters. But servant is actually the highest position. Even in the spiritual context, even God, even Krishna becomes the servant of his servant. There is a beautiful pastime in Bhagavatam where Krishna tells the gopis, na parayaham, I cannot repay your debt. Krishna does everything for his servants. And Krishna is God. Nothing is impossible for God. So how we are his eternal servants and how bhakti is the supreme path. So that's the essence of Bhagavad Gita. And the purpose Would you like to read can you see the purpose? That's fine. Would you like to read the purpose?
The purpose of the Bhagavad Gita is to revive our lost relationship with Krishna and to teach us how to act in that relationship. The essence of the Bhagavad Gita is surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. Srila Prabhupada.
So that is the essence and that is the purpose, as it has been explained. So what Bhagavad Gita does, it brings us out of the illusion. We all have some knowledge, we all have some understanding, we all have some experiences. Every morning we get up, we go to the restroom, we brush our teeth, we see ourselves in the mirror, and then we look at it and say, this is Amritananda's. Yeah, so my image, whatever is coming in the mirror, I'm identifying with it. But those of you who know me 30 years ago, like Mahajan Prabhu sitting behind, I looked a little different. I'm now in my middle age, correct? The skin starts drooping, the hair starts receding, like they say, low tide on the forehead and high tide on the waistline. So body changes. And if you look at my picture when I was a little child, my newborn, I have pictures of my newborn baby, completely different, but it's the same me. But I have the illusion that this thing is me. I'm Indian, I'm male, I'm middle-aged, I'm this, I'm that, I'm educated, or whatever. This is my job, this is all these are, we identify with the body which is temporary. And that is the illusion, because that's not who we are. We are something called the spirit soul. Spirit soul is eternal, it doesn't change. The body is always changing. Finally, it will go to its elements. It's made from 5 elements, right? Earth, air, water, ether. So it will go into that finally. But the soul doesn't. So Bhagavad Gita chapter 2, you must be knowing. Sword can't cut it, fire can't burn it, wind can't dry it, water can't wet it. Remains as it is. So it removes us from this illusion that we are the body. Bhagavad Gita, that's what it does. Hare Krishna. So what we can understand from this, the whole thing about Bhagavad Gita is to bring us to the state to always remember Krishna. Of course, we all remember Krishna. When you come in a sangha like this, you see his deities on the altar. We listen to Kirtan, we are listening to Pravachan. The mind is getting focused onto Krishna. But, when we go back outside, then everything will come, tomorrow Monday, I have to do this, I have to do that, and someone is thinking I'll have to iron my clothes for the office in the morning, and what dabba will I make? All those things start coming. The mind is flooded with everything. And then Krishna goes into one particular corner. And when more and more of those things are happening, then Krishna slowly recedes, till such time there is a jerk and something happens that, it's not going as per I planned, and then, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. So that's what it is. Bhagavad Gita helps us always remember Krishna and not forget him. And we will go through it, how we can do it. So what is the individual takeaway? What's in it for me? What's in it for me particularly? You get it? Each one of us, what's in it for us? One is we should understand, I'm not the body, I'm the soul. Second is Krishna is my best friend. Prabhu has invited me on Saturdays. There's a nice program which you all are doing for the youth group. I think it's middle school and high school teenagers over here. Teenagers have this thing called BFF, if you know. Who knows what is BFF?
Best friend forever.
That's what they do, yeah? Best friend forever. But what happens? Little bit of friction and all that goes away, right? Best friend forever. So we will be talking about friendship and relationship. What is actually best friend forever over there? So actually Krishna is the best friend and Krishna is the only friend. And we'll see how. Then peace comes from surrender. All of us are looking for stuff. Every one of us is looking for something. There's no one who's not looking for something. And we look for this thing in wealth, in power, in status. We're trying to be happy in a normal state. Okay? We're trying to be happy. But we're trying to find happiness in all these other things. So my Gurudev, His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj says, happiness is not in what you have. Happiness is in what you can do without. Think about it. Happiness is not what you have. Happiness is what you can do without. Oh, you have a wonderful luxury brand car. Great. But you don't have that, it's not going to devastate you. So this is what we need to understand, how it comes, this peace. And then duty and devotion leads to perfection. And then what's the ultimate goal? One Prabhu said that Godhead is going back to where we once belonged. Hare Krishna. So our kids, maybe they were this old when they used to do this. At that time, Sachi Rani is laughing. We used to do these programs and we used to engage the kids. And in those days, the what is it called, that music? R&B and rap. Rap is fast lyrics, they say, but of course you hear it, it's horrible what they say, and it's abusive and things like that. So they did the principle of Yukta Vairagya, and then they made that whole thing into a Hare Krishna rap. I forget the words, but it went like this: I am not the body, I am the soul, sing Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. And that's how these kids, there was something, but the chorus was, I am not the body. And so many years back it was done, it still, it keeps playing in my mind. That's a good reminder. I am not the body, I am the soul, sing Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Then what is it for all of us human beings, not just sitting in this room, not Hindus, not Christians, Muslims, doesn't matter who you are. Every human being, what is Bhagavad Gita? What does Bhagavad Gita mean to them? One God, one family. We are all God's children. Why human beings? Even the plant, even the snake, even the cat, the dog, the amoeba, any living entity is Krishna's child. With this in mind, Radhanath Swami says, if you hate somebody, we have likes, dislikes. If you hate somebody, you are hating a part of Krishna. So how could you love Krishna if you hate somebody? Hare Krishna. So this is what the whole takeaway is about Bhagavad Gita and to why we do Bhagavad Gita. We should be very clear as to what this is about. Hare Krishna. So let's come to chapter 17. It is called the Divisions of Faith. Every chapter has a particular title and it's a natural progression. Like I said, there are three themes. 1 to 6, chapter 1 to 6 is talking about Karma Yoga. 7 to 12 is talking about Bhakti Yoga. And then after that, 13 to 18 is Jnana Yoga. Correct? So you have Karma, you have Bhakti, and you have Jnana. So now we are in the Jnana portion, the knowledge portion of Bhagavad Gita. Hare Krishna. So it starts with this question. Arjuna asked this question, that is 17.1. What happens if someone doesn't follow the scriptures but worships with faith? Can anyone think of an answer? Think about it very quickly. Don't worry, right answer, wrong answer. There is no one will judge over here. What happens if someone doesn't follow the scriptures but worships with faith? पूरे श्रद्धा के साथ वो करते हैं, whatever it is he's doing, full faith. Prabhuji.
They may worship or put their faith into something which is not real, and then they will put their trust and faith in something, then get frustration eventually.
Thank you. As simple as that. You could have tremendous amount of faith, but it could be misplaced. You may have faith that you can fly. You may have full faith that you can fly and you jump out from Empire State Building. Gravity has other plans for you. But your faith was real. Your faith is real. So it starts with Arjuna asking these questions. Okay? So the whole chapter 17 is a practical analysis about faith and many other things. Now I see that there are some Gujaratis also in the audience, and there is what is called Navaratri going on. Hello re hello. So Navaratri is very sacred. It's very, very sacred. It has deep significance, Navaratri. what Navaratri is a celebration. Navaratri, as you know, Durga Ma. Everyone knows who is Durga Ma, right? Mother Durga. She is the superintendent of this world, or this creation, the material creation. She is the superintendent, Mother Durga. What does Durga Ma have in her hand?
Trishul.
Trishul. Trident. How is a trident shaped?
3 records.
They have 3 prongs, correct? That is Mother Durga's weapon. She is the guard, you can say the prison guard, warden. And all of us over here are the prisoners. Now if you see in the, when there are large cattle and going out in the farm, they have something called a prod. It's like it gives a current and they bring them in line. So Mother Durga's Trishul, those 3 prongs, is with what she is poking all the prisoners, the Jivatmas who are here in material world. Now can anyone guess what those 3 prongs, each of the 3 prongs represent? Yes, very nice. They are the modes or gunas, goodness, passion and ignorance. Now we may come to this question, but goodness? Why is goodness, considered to be something not desirable? Because this is material goodness, and these 3 things keep us tied up in this material world, as I mentioned earlier. It is not for us. This is not our place. Prison is not where one is supposed to be. Prison is only for someone who has misbehaved or continues to misbehave. So this is how Mother Durga is controlling everyone. Like this we discussed, right? If someone sincerely drinks poison thinking it's medicine, he'll die. That's why we need authorized knowledge. That's the reason why you need Guru. That's the reason why you need Shastra. That's the reason why you need Sadhu. Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. Now, if all of you have GPS on your phones, everybody, every phone has GPS. If you're going from point A to point B, you enter in the coordinates and it takes you over there. So, incidentally, GPS is always a Mataji's voice. Does anyone know why? No Prabhu's, now they have Prabhu's voice. Why Mataji's voice? So when I asked in one class, one person told, because Mataji is always telling you what to do. They always do this, don't do that, and all. Okay. But it is actually because in car there is noise, correct? Road noise. And men have a lower frequency. And that is also a low frequency sound, the tire on the road. So Mataji's voice is at a higher frequency and it cuts through it. In spiritual life also we need a GPS. That GPS stands for Guru, Parampara, which is Sadhu, and S is the Shastra. So always remember this when you open Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam or any book. It is your GPS. It will show you your true north, whatever, wherever you want to go. Hare Krishna. Can somebody, some elder, please read? Oh, you can't read from there. So maybe someone from behind, if you can read Prabhupada's quote.
Faith is the most important thing in life. Faith is the most important thing in life, but faith has to be guided by the proper understanding. Otherwise, it is simply faith in illusion. Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Very important. Always to be under the guidance and instruction. Otherwise, jo man mein aaya humne kya. Whatever you want to do, you'll do. Anything goes. No, that's not how it works. We may end up doing more damage than whatever we are trying to accomplish. As I was telling you, simple things. Prabhus, there are different ways of doing obeisance, right? There is half obeisance, there is full Dandvat. Why are Prabhus only doing Dandvat and not Mataji? Right? Now Mataji in all sincerity as an expression to show respect, Jai Shri Shri Radha Shyam Sundar Ji ki Jai, Jai Shri Gaur Nitai Ji ki Jai. They may do it, but there's a reason behind why it's not done, or why you stand on a chatai like this, a small mat, when you're doing all these things. So all this is what the acharyas, what the teachers, what the shastras tell us. And when we do that, as Romapad Maharaja said, when you understand what it is, whatever act you do becomes more meaningful. Otherwise it becomes ritualistic. After a while, ritualistic becomes boring. And there's no more interest in it. Hare Krishna. So all of us live by faith. Faith is something which is intrinsic. There's nobody who can function without faith. If you're driving on the street, you're going on the road and there's no divider. They're just those yellow lines. And there's opposite traffic coming and you're going this side. Both vehicles are going, say, at 40 miles an hour. Which is pretty, if you look at momentum, if you're students of physics, weight of your car, time, speed, and that person is coming. A moment's inattention could be fatal from either person. Now, you do not know what is the state of the person from the other direction. You have no idea. You don't even know who he is. But you have complete faith in the traffic system. You have complete faith in the authority which granted him the license that this person knows he will obey the rules and regulation. So you're literally putting your life in somebody's hand. Somebody else is a total stranger. Similarly, when you take an aeroplane and you go from place A to place B, do you know the pilot? No. We're putting our life in somebody's hand. We don't even know that person, but we have faith in the system that they've done all the checks, he's qualified, he knows what he's doing. So faith is intrinsic. All of us are hardwired to have faith. Faith is something which helps us continue doing our work. It helps us know the unknown. Based on our own intellect capacity, whatever it is impossible. There are so many things we have no idea about what's going on. But that's what faith does. Hare Krishna. So, what Prabhupada said over here is, we may have faith, but faith doesn't take you to the same result. So, here Krishna is showing us how faith works under these three. All of us are in these three modes. All of us. There's no one who's absolutely good and there's no one who's absolutely bad. It's always a combination. Time, place, circumstances, what's going on. Hare Krishna. So these are the divisions of faith, like I told you, Mother Durga, the divisions of the material world. There is goodness, it's called Sattvic or Sattva, passion, Rajas, and ignorance, Tamasic. These are the three modes. Can someone like to read Prabhupada's quote on this? Please. Time to close.
All living entities are under the influence of the three modes of material nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance. These modes control our bodies, mind, and intelligence, and as long as we are in the body, we cannot transcend them. The only way to be free is to take shelter of Krishna, the supreme controller. Srila Prabhupada.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. So, faith, everyone has faith, as I told you, correct? Now, in Sattvic, the faith is in demigods, mode of goodness, purity, altruism, kisi ka bhala karo. Yeah, that comes under the mode of goodness. Rajasvic is in powerful person. We need something, so there's really powerful. So you could be having a team leader or a boss or somebody, and you have faith in him that he'll take care of me. I do a good job, he'll give me promotion or whatever he'll put in. So that's the Rajas. And Tamas is in spirits, ghosts, faith in intoxication. There are so many songs written about ghazals and all that about sharab. People have tremendous love and they surrender to to and their faith. It is, if you actually see it, the level of attachment which they have for it. They don't care. There's no relation. There's no family. There's no everything. Sab kuch usme gawa dega. Everything. So for intoxication also, people are crazy about intoxication. There used to be the show that I used to watch long time back, some cooking show. And when that cook used to say, he put some vodka, and everyone claps, People get very happy when there is alcoholism, yeah. Faith and violence, what the terrorists are doing right now. They think they're doing the right thing, but that's where it is at. Hare Krishna. Then food, very important. There are these 3 types of food. These gunas also affect food. Sattvic, Rajas and Tamasic. So you can read over there what it is, correct? What we should try to do, we've heard these things that there is vegetarian, there is non-vegetarian. There is something called a fish diet, which I forget, it's called pescatarian or something. People who only eat something. It's they only eat seafood. Means they won't eat white meat or red meat, but seafood, fish, prawns, whatever else there is. And then there are people who are weekday. नहीं आज बुधवार है मैं मीट नहीं खाएगा. आज गुरुवार है. So they ठीक है, some type of piety is there, not a problem. We should not be judging people that, meat eater, karmi, like that. No, who are you to judge anybody? So there are these different types of diet. But what Prabhupada says, we are not vegetarian, we are not this-tarian, that-tarian, we are not even vegan. We are Krishna-tarian, we are prasadarians. So that is the actual situation of how we should be. When it comes to food, eat only Krishna Prasad. Krishna Prasad is very simple. You offer the food to the deity. It could be elaborate, where there are mudras which you have to do. I know the Prabhu in the kitchen is a great Brahmana. You have to do, or it could be very simple. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhakti uparitam ashnami prayatatmanaham. That's what Krishna says, the samam bonum of all the entire Gita. Correct? It gives these instructions, sarva dharman and all. How to do it, it comes over here. Offer me something simple. Now there will be Annakut coming up. And hundreds of dishes would be offered. You could offer him just water, but just do it with love and devotion. Hey Krishna, please accept this. And then that's what we eat, Hare Krishna. Then similarly, sacrifice. Can someone tell me what is the meaning of sacrifice? We have heard this word, sacrifice. We've all heard the word sacrifice. What does sacrifice mean? Yes?
Give something which is dear to us.
Give up something which is dear to you for a higher purpose. Now, when we were students and used to study for exams, used to sit up late night studying, we sacrificed our sleep. Mothers sacrifice their sleep for newborn babies. They don't get a wink to sleep. You sacrifice something which is dear to you, you give that up. So, again, in sacrifice also, now sacrifice is considered to be something good. You're sacrificing something good. But again, there are those 3 gunas of sacrifice. Someone could sacrifice in the tamasic mode, which is completely against the scriptures. It'll have you may be wanting to do good, but it'll have an opposite effect. Right? So, sometimes we give charity to impress others. Oh, he gave, Janmashtami, $15,000. Or we go to the temple and then we make a deal with Krishna. Oh, if this happens, I'll give you one nariyal, one coconut. That's not pyar, that is vyapar. You think Krishna wants your coconut? You think Krishna wants your $1 trillion? So, when we do it to show off or something, it is just to mode of tamas. It is still binding. We may think it is liberating, mere paap dhul rahe hai, but that's not what is happening. Hare Krishna. Austerity. What is austerity? Prabhupada says, what is austerity? Willingly taking up some hardship for a higher purpose is called austerity. Now we all have austerity. Everyone has austerity. If you go by train, New Jersey Transit, you're stuck in the train because of the lines are broken down or something. You're sitting there 1 hour, 2 hours. It's like a suffering. But you don't want it, it's forced upon you. That is not austerity. Austerity is when you willingly take up some hardship for a certain goal or a purpose. Hare Krishna. So you could have austerity of the body, mind and the speech. So respecting, how we offer respect. Actually in India there's a culture, especially the North Indians. The younger people, they take the blessings of older people. They call it peripona. Like, I touch your, you'll know, North Indians, you'll know, peripona. So, but there's a deep significance of why you offer your obeisances. Also your speech, Hare Krishna. So that's what Prabhupada says, your tongue can do two things. It can vibrate, make sound, and it can taste if you control both what you speak and what you eat. That's how it is going to change the direction of where you go, how you go, where you'll reach. Hare Krishna. Charity. Charity also has sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. Sometimes charity is, actually you do charity without expecting anything in return. Because that's my duty, I'm meant to do that. Especially those who are grastis. You're meant to do charity. But we are only charitable to ourselves. How much my bank balance is increasing. Oh, for my child I should have savings, I should do this, I should do that. Yeah, some of us are more fortunate, some of them are less fortunate. But when we think about this whole, where it was said, Krishna is the father of everyone. And that's why Vaishnava is called Para Dukha Dukhi. He cannot bear to see either the physical or the mental, of course the spiritual trouble that all jivas are in. And they go out of their way to bring them out of that particular condition. Tamasic. You know, you're building a temple and you give your charity, some donation. Very nice. But your nephew wants to start a liquor shop and you say, okay, 15% is mine, and you give him charity. That is also charity, but it won't get you anywhere. Hare Krishna. And finally, dear devotees, you heard this word Om Tat Sat. So, usually those from the so-called Hindu, there's no word called Hindu, by the way, in the Shastra. There's no word called Hindu. It is surprising to many people. Hindu is a word which the Muslim invaders gave people who were living across the river Sind. From Sind it became Hindu, because they were practicing the Vedic culture. So there's this saying, Garva se kaho hum Hindu hai. Be very proudly you say, I'm a Hindu. But that Hindu is what the Muslim has given you the name, Hindu. That's no such thing as Hindu. In Hindus, there's this culture that Lord Ganesha, you say, Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. There is that, you must be familiar with this. Before they start something, they take the name of Ganesha to invoke auspiciousness. That is Ganesha as the demigod. That's what he does. But where does Ganesh get the power to remove obstacles? It comes through Govinda. If you read the Brahma Samhita, that's what it is. So there is this word called Om Tat Sat. Om is, when we say the word Om, it is connecting us to the Supreme Absolute Truth, Krishna. Tat means everything belongs to him. And Sat is the eternal auspiciousness connected to reality. So when we say this Om Tat Sat, you start and do. If we have this consciousness, Om Tat Sat, saying is one thing, but if you have that consciousness, you will see what a marked difference it makes in the life. Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. So lessons learned. What we'll quickly bring this to a close. Faith must be scripturally guided and not a sentiment. Food shapes consciousness. You're literally what you eat. Hare Krishna. Sacrifice, austerity, do it as a devotional offering. There are Vaishnavas, there's the Guru Sadhu Shastra which will show you how to do that. Words matter. Speak the truth with compassion. speak not to hurt, even if it is the truth. Speak to raise a person from his or her position. Always connect to Krishna. Always do chanting and remembering Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. So to end, what chapter 17 shows us, how even our daily life, whatever we are doing, correct? Eating, giving, whatever we are doing, can uplift or degrade us. In this material world, like again, I'll quote my Guru Maharaj, Radhanath Swami says, faith. Faith is not stagnant. It'll either go up or go down. And the material world is such that it is always pulling everything down. So whatever faith is there, you need to do a lot more to keep it and to progress. So whatever we do could either elevate or it could deflate us. And then finally the next chapter 80 is his message, Sarva Dharman Parityaja Mam Ekam Sharanam Praja Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshishyami Maasacha. Surrender unto me. Abandon all varieties of dharma. Just surrender unto me. I will take care of you, all your reactions. I will take care of it. Do not worry. That is Krishna's promise. Hare Krishna. So, dear devotees, I don't know, it's 6:35, another 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Anyone has a question, comment, we could have a discussion, or we can bring this to a close. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna.
Does anybody have any questions?
That's fine.
Oh, good question.
Yes, sir.
This might be a very basic question. What's the difference between austerity and sacrifice?
Austerity and sacrifice is something synonymous. Correct? The austerity is what you take a willing hardship. Or let me put it this way. When we make a sacrifice, you could sacrifice your time for somebody or something. You're sacrificing. Sacrifice could be done, the frequency at which you're doing sacrifice is not as close or as often as what you're doing austerity. To give you an example, you are making a sacrifice of your sleep to get up every morning and do your japa. You're doing it day in and day out. That is an austerity. Whereas you are making a sacrifice of your hard-earned money. You're offering it for some purpose. But you're not doing it day in and day out. So it's synonymous. Both are giving something dear to you, giving up something dear for you for a higher purpose. But if I look at it, the frequency at which one occurs and the other occurs. So the austerity is something which is more periodic. And sacrifice will be, if I make sacrifice more periodic, it will become austerity, regularity.
Can we say austerity is more personal? Sacrifice is towards the others. Sacrifice is for a higher cause.
Yes. Yes. But a sacrifice could also be, yes, you're very right. Very good point. But it can also be for your own self. Or I, me, myself. Like the example of a mother or parents. Parents will say that, oh, my child, I need to give my child a better education. So I will sacrifice this. I will sacrifice buying a luxury brand of a car. That money I would rather put it to my child's college fund or something like that. So that child is mine, not public. But yeah, sacrifice could be done for a larger audience. Thank you. So we'll bring it to a close. Thank you, everybody. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji. It was very nice, enlightening class. You brought it down to very, very basic and very understandable way of approaching Bhagavad Gita. So it reminded me of a quote that I recently heard from Gaur Govind Maharaj about how Krishna is completely independent, but he is still bound by the love of his devotees. So that's what, when you said something, that reminded me of that. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.